Runangs,
Yes, sir.
am I
We can
audible,
hear.
Runangs? Yeah, thank you. Okay, so let us try to do you remember what we were covering the last class? No one? That's sad.
So we were
Load
doing load
balancing.
balancing.
Yeah, very good. Load balancing. So so we are going to continue with load balancing only. So when we are talking about load balancing, okay, so basically in cloud computing, um, load balancing, basically what it does is the load means workload, and we are talking about, in a cloud environment, we are talking about distributed workloads. So these distributed workloads we want to again distribute across multiple computing resources, different types of resources. We want to distribute this workload that is coming through from the users. We want to distribute the workload across multiple computing resources. Okay.
Sir, this is Pallav.
Yeah,
Your screen is not visible.
yeah, I know. I have not started
Oh,
that
okay, sir.
and I have not shared the screen yet.
Oh, sorry, sir.
So, so basically, why do you want to distribute? That is a big question. Why we want to distribute the workload? Because we want, in a nutshell, we want to balance the load. Now the question is, why do we want to balance the load? We want to balance the load to have fair distribution of the loads across the available resources, so that not only fairness is maintained, but also we have maximization of the availability of resources. That means optimum utilization of the resources. And like this, there are many different other benefits of load balancing. Now, in the context of cloud computing, it is this, but wherever we are talking about workloads, for example, in the context of server computing, traditionally, server computing like web servers, right? So in the case of web servers, basically, this what used to happen is it is still there, is basically so there is a there is the concept of how you are going to distribute the workload, how you are going to balance the workload, right? So same thing, you are now scaling it up in the context of cloud computing. In the context of networks also, many of you may be aware that my core area of research is basically computer networks, and more specifically IoT. There also this concept of network load balancing is there. So basically, given the resources, network resources, how you are going to balance uh, the load, the network load, the traffic across these different available uh, resources, network resources. So here in the context of cloud computing, given the incoming workload, the distributed workload coming from different sources, and on the other hand, given that you have this limited number of these computing resources, so how you are going to distribute the resources across these how you are going to distribute the workload across these resources, so that overall everything is balanced, the load is balanced properly. Okay, is this clear? So um, there are different types of load balancing algorithms that are there. There are different types of load balancers that are there. Okay, commercially available load balancers are there. So after my lecture, as usual, I'm going to show you some commercial load balancer. Okay, how things work in one of the common one of the commercial load balancers I have picked up. I'm going to show for you. So 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 when we are talking about load balancers, there so we are talking about load balancing at different levels, because there are different types of resources. So this load balancing is typically elastic, right? So this elasticity in load balancing, basically that has to be applied across these different computing resources. So for example, in the context of different applications that are running, right? So you have application load balancers, If you are talking about at the network level, you are talking about network load balancer. Like that, actually, there are these commercial cloud load balancers. They work at different levels of load balancing. Okay, so there are different. So we are going to basically learn about these different things. Okay, so what are these different concepts in load balancing? We are going to learn this. Okay, so I hope that the slide is visible now.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can you see it? Full screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, just tell me one thing. If I put it in the slideshow mode, can you see it in the slideshow mode?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let us keep it this way only. So let us try to understand these load balancers, how they work. So load balancers commercially, they work using some load balancing algorithm the way they have been programmed. Okay, so some different commercial load balancers, they use different load balancing strategies, different load balancing algorithms. Okay, so the whole idea is that you have all these user requests, right, which are actually translated into different tasks. Okay, so these tasks will have to be allocated different resources, and these resources basically come in the form of different VMs, right? So this task allocation algorithms, there are many task allocation algorithms. So these task allocation algorithms basically will have to be designed, will have to be employed, and these are going to act depending on the current state of the available virtual machines. Okay, now so the whole idea is that through task allocation we are going to achieve load balancing. So these load balancing algorithms in turn, they are going to ensure that the available resources are allocated fairly to these different tasks, okay, which are going to be executed in the different virtual machines. Otherwise, what might happen is that some virtual machine may be overloaded. On the other hand, some other virtual machine may be completely underloaded. So this load balancing will have to be done across different virtual machines by allocating different tasks to them, or within a particular virtual machine also. This load balancing may be done, right? So within a virtual machine, intra virtual machine, or across virtual machines, this load balancing may be done. So the objective of the load balancing, basically, number one, you want to improve the stability of the system, because you do not want one part of the resources being overloaded, the other part remaining underloaded. So you want to overall improve the stability through equidistribution of the load, and on the other hand, ensure that through the entire process there is high level of user satisfaction. User satisfaction is paramount, so that is the reason I have written user satisfaction as the first objective of load balancing, followed by the stability of the system. So resource management basically plays a major role in the process of load balancing in cloud computing. Okay. Now, as I told you that there are many load balancing algorithms that are available. Okay. So much of research has been done on load balancing in cloud computing. If you if you happen to spend some time on load balancing algorithms in cloud computing, you will see that there are so many hundreds of algorithms for load balancing that are available, and still there is so much of research that is going on load balancing algorithm, designing load balancing algorithms, efficient load balancing algorithms, and so on and so forth, for use in the cloud context. So this load balancing in cloud, it's a multi-objective optimization problem. It's a multi-objective optimization problem, and it has been shown that the generic nature of this problem is NP complete. Okay, so consequently, you need to use either some heuristic algorithms or maybe some kind of approximation or something like that. So typically, there are so many different types of heuristic algorithms that are that have been proposed, which are typically used in most of these commercially available load balancers. And one of these load balancers, I'm going to show you a video of the commercially available load balancer. So what it does. So the objective of load balancing is basically threefold. You want to save on the energy consumption, you want to minimize something called make span, and maximize the throughput. So energy consumption and its saving is quite well understood. Let me ask you, who knows what is make span and minimization of make span? So what is make span? Can somebody tell what is make span minimization?
Sir, total time to complete a task.
Very good. Who is this?
Sir, Porimal.
Porimal, very good. So basically, from the start time of the task execution to the end time, the duration basically is the make span, and you want to reduce that span, that duration, right? You want to minimize that, right? And throughput maximization. What is throughput?
So the rate of completion of a
Huh?
task,
Huh? Huh?
the number of tasks completed in unit time.
Exactly, very good. So in the context of cloud computing, throughput is basically number of tasks per unit time. Okay, so there are different types of load balancing algorithms, which which basically some of these algorithms, these are good in respect of, let us say, energy saving. Some of them are good in respect of let us say make span minimization, some on the throughput maximization. And actually in advanced research there are so many other metrics that have also people have come up with. And last class also I had talked about some of these different other performance metrics in place. So so as I told you that you need some kind of these heuristic solutions, the easier ones to be used in order to come up with a good solution for this thing. So what are these different popular heuristic strategies for load balancing in cloud? They can be classified into two types. One is the static ones, the other one are the dynamic strategies, right? Dynamic and static. Okay, now some of these algorithms like OLB, MET, MCT, and many others are there, which belong to the static strategy type, and the other ones like min surf, min max, like that. Actually there are few others which are offline dynamic strategies, and similarly there is something called online dynamic strategies. So like this, actually there are so many different types of heuristic strategies that are there. The static strategies in cloud computing, it uses two assumptions for load balancing. One is that there is a fixed order of the arrival of the tasks, and the rate of task arrival, this is also fixed. So the order and rate of task arrival are static, right? And these algorithms also make assumptions about the availability of physical machines at the beginning, and that is considered to be static. It doesn't change, right? So it's the same, so basically in the static strategies, basically the availability of these resources, these are all considered to be fixed, static, right? At the beginning everything is known a priori, and you make these allocations based on this static information that is available a priori. So some of these static strategies are the ones that are written over here. Now in the dynamic strategies, basically in runtime, right? So dynamic means like in runtime, the load distribution is done. Okay, and again offline mode of distribution is there, and online mode. In offline mode, basically the tasks are basically the load is distributed in batches, right? So basically these tasks are allocated at a predefined time, and so it's a batch mode, right? So in the same way as you have batch processing, so you have fixed set of tasks which are allocated in batches and are uh, these are allocated, right? So this is the batch mode, and so there are some algorithms like max min, suffrage algorithm. These are some of these different types of batch mode dynamic algorithms that are available. Okay. Then comes the online or immediate mode dynamic strategies. In these strategies, basically the task is allocated to a computing node as soon as it arrives at the scheduler, right? So what is this task, by the way? So who can tell what is the task? So when we are talking about task in the context of cloud computing, so what is this task? What is the task in cloud computing? Who can tell? Porimal?
Sir, is it a service request?
No, you have to be clear a little bit. Who can tell what is the task?
To run some code.
Hmm?
To run some code.
Run some code means what? So you all are telling me only a group of words, right? So without
Sir,
completing the sentence, right?
Sir, it will depend on the kind of service that is being requested for. If it is a data storage service, then it can be a task that requests either retrieval of data or storage of data. If it is some other kind of task like a web server, then the request for some service can be a task.
So basically these are in the form of I think Porimal was somewhat in the same correct direction, but it was not very clear. So basically when you were talking about tasks, basically so you have resources, right? So these resources are delivered as services in cloud computing. These are delivered as services to customers through the internet, right? So basically so these tasks are basically it is coming in the form of these requests from this from the customers, and so the question is that how you are going to schedule these tasks, and how you are going to allocate the resources to these tasks. Okay, so uh, yeah, so this is basically so now the question is that resource allocation, right? So you have to allocate resources. Now the resource allocation basically what it does is that whatever available resources are there, so these resources are basically allocated to these different tasks, so that these tasks pertaining to the different applications, these can be completed to fulfill the jobs of the users, right? So this is basically the whole idea about tasks and resources. So each task is so in the online mode, each task is allocated is scheduled only once, and typically only once, and these algorithms like OLB, MET, these are some of these different ones which belong to this particular strategy. Now, what is this OLB? OLB is opportunistic load balancing, right? So this is a protocol, this is an algorithm which uses some heuristics in order to do this load balancing. And as per this heuristic, basically, a machine is selected randomly, and a task is allocated to this machine. And next, so whenever there is some other available machine, the tasks are basically allocated if required to that particular machine, right? So basically so randomly you select these machines, and then you allocate the task to that machine, and then find the next available machine, right? So in the online mode, a task is allocated to a virtual machine, and that is based on different parameters such as the execution time. Now, this task execution in OLB, it is done at the virtual machine level. Okay, and in the online mode, a task is allocated to a virtual machine based on parameters such as execution time. The advantage of OLB is that it increases the host machine utilization for improved efficiency and proper load balancing. And the disadvantage is that it is poor in terms of the make span, where multiple objectives are considered simultaneously. Okay. Now, there is another algorithm which is called the minimum execution time algorithm, and this is also a heuristic technique. In fact, all of these are heuristic techniques. So it uses both static and dynamic strategies for for load balancing. Okay, so this strategy maps each task to a virtual machine, and the scheduler basically allocates each task according to the lowest execution time. That is why its name is minimum execution time algorithm. So the task which has the lowest execution time, the scheduler will assign according to this execution time. Okay. Now, similarly, there is the minimum not only execution time but also the completion time, right? Similarly, so you have the minimum completion time algorithm. It uses ready to execute time and the expected execution time of the tasks for load balancing, and it allocates the tasks to in the machines which has the least completion time. Okay. Now there are two other variants, which one is called the min. So this min basically selects the minimum size task and the minimum capacity cloud resource, that means virtual machine. Okay, so selects minimum size task and chooses a virtual machine that has the minimum capacity. Okay, and for doing it, it uses some kind of a queuing algorithm for task allocation, and so this is the way it proceeds. Then there are a few others that are also there. Another one that I would like to mention over here, this is called the, actually I think this should be, I have to check little later on, but just occurred to me that it has to be probably max min, not min max, right? So this has to be checked. So I think I have a typo over here. So this max min algorithm, what it does is it takes the task with the largest size, task which is the largest size, so the max, and chooses the cloud resource that has the minimum processing capability, max min. Okay, so I think I will confirm this one later on. So this max min algorithm, it works this way. Again, a queuing based approach is used, where a queue is maintained for task allocation, and after allocating a task from the queue, it is removed from the queue and the next task is then considered for further allocation. Okay, now so these are some of these different very basic trivial type of heuristic algorithms that are there. But there are some soft computing based algorithms, like you must have heard about genetic algorithm. Genetic algorithm basically uses the concepts of chromosomes, population, etc. So there are different functions such as crossover, mutation, like that. There are some of these different things that are there. So this genetic algorithm also is used for optimization. It's a soft computing approach, and like that, there is something called simulated annealing. Okay, this is also there, which also does which is also based on some kind of soft computing strategy. So what I have done is I have listed all of these for you: simulated genetic algorithm, simulated annealing, taboo search, A-star search. A-star search is actually from artificial intelligence, right? So those of you who have taken a course in artificial intelligence, you must be familiar with A-star search, which is a very popular search algorithm used in artificial intelligence. A-star search and switching algorithm, like this. Actually, these are some of these different types of very primitive as well as advanced, little bit more advanced types of load balancing algorithms that are available. And so what I would like you to do is that take it as as an assignment, right? So I have not given you any assignment so far, but this is one of the assignments which I'm going to evaluate for you. So the assignment is that all of you please note, this assignment is that these algorithms that are there, okay, so I want you to make a comparison of all of these algorithms with respect to certain criteria. So how many criteria you are going to consider, that I am not going to specify. So I want you to basically have a tabular form of comparison of all these load balancing algorithms, okay, for which I would like you to go through them individually and try to understand them. Okay, what I have done is I have simply exposed you to the different different algorithms that are there, but so you need to go through them in detail, you need to understand them in detail, right? So that I have not done, and so this becomes basically part of your assignment. You have to do it yourself at home. You have to go through and you have to make a tabular comparison of all of these different types of um, algorithms. Okay, so algorithms for load balancing. Okay, so these are the things. Next class onwards, I'm going to start with storage access protocols, which is very interesting, which you will note later. But this one is important, so for this, you will have to, I will tell you, separate email will be sent to you. I will tell you the mode of submission of your assignment, but you will have until the end of this week. That means can I fix the assignment submission date on Monday? Will you guys be comfortable with it? Today is Wednesday, coming Monday. Okay, so if there is no other suggestion, so I think it should be okay for you. So coming Monday, you will have this assignment submission deadline. Okay, and don't ask me for more time later on. If you have any concerns, you tell now, but once we fix the time, I'm not going to extend it later on.
Sir, how to submit this one?
I told you already that I will send you the instructions for submission.
Okay. So, sir, can I make it like Wednesday before the next class?
Yes, sir.
Why?
Because we
Two more
have some
days will
project
help.
submission actually. Yeah.
Okay, no problem. So let us, so we'll make it coming Wednesday before the start of the class.
Yes, that will be
Okay, so you are getting one full week,
okay, sir.
and after this again you will get one or two more assignments. So those are also going to be there. But remember that these assignments are going to be evaluated. Okay, that means you will be getting some marks from these. So anyway, let us now go through some commercial load balancer that are available for cloud. But this time